أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
Divorced women remain in waiting for 3 periods, and it is not lawful for them to conceal what Allah has created in their wombs if they believe in Allah and the Last Day. And their husbands have more right to take them back in this period if they want reconciliation. And due to the wives is similar to what is expected of them, according to what is reasonable. But the men have a degree over them in responsibility and authority. And Allah is exalted in might and wise. And their Lord responded to them, "Never will I allow to be lost the work of any worker among you, whether male or female. You are of one another. So those who emigrated or were evicted from their homes or were harmed in my cause or fought or were killed, I will surely remove from them their misdeeds, and I will surely admit them to gardens beneath which rivers flow as reward from Allah, and Allah has with Him the best reward. O mankind, fear your Lord, who created you from one soul and created from it its mate and dispersed from both of them many men and women. And fear Allah, through whom you ask one another, and the wombs. Indeed, Allah is ever over you, an observer. And do not wish for that by which Allah has made some of you exceed others. For men is a share of what they have earned, and for women is a share of what they have earned. And ask Allah of His bounty. Indeed, Allah is ever, of all things, knowing. Men are in charge of women by right of what Allah has given one over the other, and what they spend for maintenance from their wealth. So righteous women are devoutly obedient, guarding in the husband's absence what Allah would have them guard. But those wives from whom you fear arrogance, first advise them, then if they persist, forsake them in bed, and finally strike them. But if they obey you once more, seek no means against them. Indeed, Allah is ever exalted and grand. And whoever does righteous deeds, whether male or female, while being a believer, those will enter paradise and will not be wronged, even as much as the speck on a date seed. It is He who produced you from one soul and gave you a place of dwelling and of storage. We have detailed the signs for a people who understand. And they say, what is in the bellies of these animals is exclusively for our males and forbidden to our females. But if it is born dead, then all of them have shares therein. He will punish them for their description. Indeed, He is wise and knowing. The hypocrite men and hypocrite women are of one another. They enjoin what is wrong and forbid what is right and close their hands. They have forgotten Allah, so He has forgotten them accordingly. Indeed, the hypocrites, it is they who are the defiantly disobedient. Allah has promised the hypocrite men and hypocrite women and the disbelievers the fire of hell, wherein they will abide eternally. It is sufficient for them, and Allah has cursed them, and for them is an enduring punishment. The believing men and believing women are allies of one another. They enjoin what is right and forbid what is wrong, and establish prayer and give zakah, and obey Allah and His Messenger. Those, Allah will have mercy upon them. Indeed, Allah is exalted in might and wise. Allah has promised the believing men and believing women gardens beneath which rivers flow, wherein they abide eternally, and pleasant dwellings in gardens of perpetual residence. But approval from Allah is greater. It is that which is the great attainment. Whoever does righteousness, whether male or female, while he is a believer, we will surely cause him to live a good life, and we will surely give them their reward in the hereafter, according to the best of what they used to do. Indeed, the Muslim men and Muslim women, the believing men and believing women, the obedient men and obedient women, the truthful men and truthful women, the patient men and patient women, the humble men and humble women, the charitable men and charitable women, the fasting men and fasting women, the men who guard their private parts and the women who do so, and the men who remember Allah often and the women who do so. For them Allah has prepared forgiveness and a great reward. And those who harm believing men and believing women for something other than what they have earned have certainly borne upon themselves a slander and manifest sin. It was so that Allah may punish the hypocrite men and hypocrite women and the men and women who associate others with Him, and that Allah may accept repentance from the believing men and believing women. And ever is Allah forgiving and merciful. Whoever does an evil deed will not be recompensed except by the like thereof. But whoever does righteousness, whether male or female, while he is a believer, those will enter paradise, being given provision therein without account. To Allah belongs the dominion of the heavens and the earth. He creates what He wills. He gives to whom He wills female children, and He gives to whom He wills males. Or He makes them both males and females, and He renders whom He wills barren. Indeed, He is knowing and competent. So know, O Muhammad, that there is no deity except Allah, and ask forgiveness for your sin, and for the believing men and believing women. And Allah knows of your movement and your resting place. And that He may admit the believing men and the believing women to gardens beneath which rivers flow, to abide therein eternally, and remove from them their misdeeds. And ever is that, in the sight of Allah, a great attainment. And that He may punish the hypocrite men and hypocrite women, and the polytheist men and polytheist women, those who assume about Allah an assumption of evil nature. Upon them is a misfortune of evil nature, and Allah has become angry with them, and has cursed them, and prepared for them hell, and evil it is as a destination. On the same day, the hypocrite men and hypocrite women will say to those who believed, "Wait for us, that we may acquire some of your light." It will be said, "Go back behind you and seek light," and a wall will be placed between them with a door, its interior containing mercy, but on the outside of it is torment. Indeed, the men who practice charity and the women who practice charity, and they who have loaned Allah a goodly loan, it will be multiplied for them, and they will have a noble reward. O you who have believed, when the believing women come to you as emigrants, examine them. Allah is most knowing as to their faith. And if you know them to be believers, then do not return them to the disbelievers. They are not lawful wives for them, nor are they lawful husbands for them. But give the disbelievers what they have spent, and there is no blame upon you if you marry them when you have given them their due compensation. And hold not to marriage bonds with disbelieving women, but ask for what you have spent, and let them ask for what they have spent. That is the judgment of Allah. He judges between you, and Allah is knowing and wise.